Hello guys, welcome back. It has been a couple of weeks and I finally got my test results back for titanium allergies and sensitivities. I had done this testing a couple of weeks ago to help me decide whether or not I want to have the plates and screws removed that were put into my jaw during jaw surgery. And I wanted to test and see if I had any kind of problem with titanium or with basically the metals that can be in titanium implants, which includes a couple of different metals that can actually be included in there, just to see if maybe some of the symptoms that are still lingering for me could have anything to do with a sensitivity or an allergy to the implants and whether or not I should get them removed. This is a little bit of a time-sensitive thing since I am already past 7 months into my recovery, and really they don't want you to go beyond 12 months if you do need to get them removed, because by then your bone has started to grow in between implants and kind of around them, and it's just much more difficult for them to potentially remove them. So this is kind of the ideal time. You're healed enough to do another procedure, but not so far along that it's likely to have complications or to have bone growth around the implant. So it's something I kind of have to make a decision on pretty quickly. So we're going to go over my test results and kind of where I go from here with all of that. I also saw my orthodontist again last week, and she said I am very close to being able to get my braces off. Just have this one tooth that is still a little bit sideways and is kind of taking a long time for it to turn. But that is the last thing that we have to work on before I can be done with the braces. So that was really exciting to hear. I am going to be going back in there in just 2 weeks, so 3 weeks from my last appointment, to check on things and maybe again kind of do some kind of adjustment. So hopefully after that, it might just be like a couple more weeks or maybe 1 or 2 more adjustments before I will be able to get the braces off, which would be great. The one other thing that I had been talking to my orthodontist about was potentially doing some expansion just with orthodontics, because I didn't have any expansion done during my surgery because my actual bone structure is already in alignment. Any kind of expansion for me would have to be done just orthodontically, because I had previously had teeth pulled when I was younger. That was just sort of something we had talked about, I think more for aesthetic reasons, of just kind of creating a little bit of a wider smile. She doesn't actually want to pursue that right now, just given that everything that I have been through and kind of just wanting to let everything sort of settle and really heal. She said maybe kind of give it at least another year and see how things are feeling and how things are doing. And that is something that we could potentially address in the future with an Invisalign treatment if we feel like that might be beneficial. But I think the other concern there is that if you do create some more space, you're probably going to create some gaps in the teeth, and there might not be a really great solution for dealing with that right now. And so you can create some other compensation problems. So for now, even though that was something that we had talked about a little bit previously, we're just going to kind of finish up this treatment with the braces, let everything settle, really let my jaw and everything heal from the surgery. And then I will, of course, be following up with her as I am continuing to heal, or kind of have a retainer after the braces are done. So we can always address that again in the future if needed. Okay, so probably the real reason that you are here watching this video is to hear about the test results for titanium sensitivities or allergies and whether or not I want to get these plates and screws removed. So this testing that I did is MELISA testing, MELISA. It is through a lab in Germany. So I had to overnight my blood test to Germany, and it was very critical that it gets there within 48 hours, because otherwise the test is not viable. So it was a little bit stressful, but everything went fine. It got there on time, and then it took about 2 weeks for them to process the results. I believe what they do is they have to, they're doing whatever testing they're doing, and they have to let it kind of sit for a while to see if your blood responds over 10 days or whatever, to see if you have any problems with titanium. And there were 4 other metals that we did testing for, because there are 4 other metals that are commonly in titanium implants. Even if they say they are just titanium, like I guess through the manufacturing process of these materials, that can mean that there are other small amounts of other metals in these titanium implants. So we did do testing for all 5 of the metals that could be in these titanium implants. And the good news is that I did not test positive for any titanium sensitivities or for 3 of the other metals. The only one that turned up positive was for nickel. And apparently nickel is a very common, or the most common, metal allergy, and even more common among females. So it's not like maybe surprising that I had a positive result to this. And it wasn't super positive. They have kind of a range of strongly positive, or just positive, or negative. So while that was really good news to hear that most of these things were negative and that it was just the nickel and it wasn't like a super strong positive result, trying to gather a little bit more information about what that means, how serious that is, or what kind of like health risks that might pose for me and the level of sensitivity that showed up on this test. Unfortunately, this did create maybe a few more questions than answers, and I do feel like I want to get some additional information before making a decision one way or another. I did get in contact with this company, with the lab that did the testing, asking them a few questions to try to clarify what all might be going on with these particular implants and my level of sensitivity. And then I'm also going to have another conversation with my doctor about it, again, kind of weighing the pros and cons, or sort of the risks and benefits given this specific situation, and whether we think that at this point it would make sense to just leave it alone or to pursue the removal. The one other concern that I have started to learn a little bit more about in terms of having metal implants, or especially like in your mouth or in your face, is the potential for like electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, to have more of an impact on a person who has metal in their body. And because we have so much like Wi-Fi around us, and there's cell phone towers and Bluetooth, and there's like just basically signals all the time in our environment, we don't really know how that is affecting us as humans, like on a cellular level or on a health level, but it has become a little bit more of a topic of concern. Like, what is this actually going to do, or how could this affect humans in the long run, as we're being exposed to these things that we've never really been exposed to before at this level? And that when you have metal in your body, or especially kind of like in your face, where like you might be holding a cell phone up to your ear, that can kind of amplify the effect of those electromagnetic fields. Again, I don't totally understand this or know, like, what do we know and not know about the potential health risks of this, or how much of a concern it is, what things could be done to mitigate the potential risks of this, and again, how that plays into my decision to just leave the plates in there or look at having them removed. So those are the things I'm still considering at this point. I want to gather a little bit more information, clarify some of these questions that I still have, and just talk to my doctor again before deciding one way or another if I leave the plates in or if I schedule the procedure to have them taken out. I am hoping to hear back from the lab with some answers to the questions that I had sent them, and then I will be talking to my doctor again next week. By then, I should have a lot more clarity on what my decision is, whether I will have the plates removed or if I will just keep them and kind of deal with any potential issues in other ways. If any of you have had your plates and screws removed, maybe if it's something that you are thinking about or talking to your doctor about, I would love to hear what your thought process is like, or for sure what the procedure or your experience is like if you did have them removed. Please leave a comment below and let me know how that went for you or what you're thinking about this. I will definitely put up another video once I have more information or have made a decision. But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. You can give this video a thumbs up if you like it. You can subscribe below if you want to know when new videos come out. And I will talk to you guys again soon with another update.